Well, that seems to be the challenge. Is it's hard to kind of underwrite the rest of the year when we really don't know what policy is going to be and the effect of that policy to the macro economy. I mean, we saw negative GDP growth in the first quarter of the year, but we're still experiencing sticky inflation. Is a kind of a stagflationary environment close to your base case, or are we going to be seeing again some higher inflation but slower growth?
Yeah, I don't know if I would go all the way to the point of stagflation because inflation is still relatively in check. Again, we have yet to see the impact of the tariffs. We have yet to see inflation blow out yet. But I do see some economic softening, and we saw this before the tariffs. Really going back to kind of the tail end of last year, I wouldn't say we saw negative growth, but we certainly saw some softening. Now, the negative growth read, that's interesting. Really, it was an imbalance of imports and exports. From what I've heard, a lot of firms were kind of front running the tariffs, loading up on imports, getting their inventories high, and that might have led to the negative GDP growth. Negative GDP is negative GDP. You can cut GDP in 100,000 different ways
Yeah.
to kind of look at different sectors, but a negative read is a negative read. If we get another quarter, we're technically in a recession, right? I don't think it'll be a huge recession. And we may bounce back positive. Overall, I think we'll be at pretty flat GDP performance, pretty flat economic growth, with a risk of higher inflation. I don't see any opportunities, or I don't see inflation going much lower than where it is. There's certainly a risk that inflation goes higher. Again, on the jobs numbers, I don't see employment improving or unemployment falling. If anything, I see the unemployment rate increasing over the next couple of months.